Alright guys, we're in Walmart fishing section right now. I'm going to be going over the top 5 fishing poles I would buy, along with some of them that I would try my best to stay away from. Since Walmart is a really budget friendly place, you can get some good deals on rods, but there's also some that's so cheap that they're made cheap, and they're actually just going to cause you way more trouble than you can actually get into. So before we even get into rods I do like, let me get into rods I don't like. And it's going to be this Ozark Trail. Not necessarily hating on Ozark Trail, I'm just hating on a spinning reel and rod that's $12. Because in order for it to be $12, they got to make this thing as cheap as possible. And it's hard to make a good rod for that cheap. And I see a lot of people buying these, and they'll actually work okay for like the first 2 fishing trips. But after that, the drag starts loosening to where it won't stay in the same spot. This starts wiggling, this starts wiggling, this starts wiggling. Basically, all of it is plastic, so it's just not really what you're looking for. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with these, and I'll compare this one to some of the ones I will pick out here in a minute. It's going to be these $12 ones. These are actually push buttons, and it's pretty much the same exact thing. This is pretty much a spinning rod, except has a cover on it. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with it. The rod's okay, but the reel just tangles up, and it's pre-spooled with line, and it's old line. It's been here a long time. It's been on the rod a long time. I don't recommend getting these either. If you want a push button, there's some pretty good push buttons down here, but I don't really recommend these. They work okay for the first time or two, but after that, everything just goes downhill really bad. Moving on to the first rod that I would actually buy. Believe it or not, this ain't the one I suggest, but this is one of the 5. It's actually one of the Barbie rods, dude. I mean, it's super small, it's super simple. I've used them a lot, and they actually do great. And you gotta remember, it's kind of a baby rod, and it can only put up with so much. But if you're just looking for something to have fun or throw under the seat, that actually ain't a bad rod. I've got 3 of them, and I've not really had problems with them yet. Now, that may change. Some of these other ones I've been using for a while. Not had problems. Putting them in an exact tier list 1 through 5 is going to be kind of hard, but let's just start off with some of the push buttons. Say you want a push button, this is called a spin cast. I would go with the Zebco 33, and that's this one down here and these 2 right here. They got one that's smaller, one that's bigger. Even right over here, they've got some. Now they're more expensive. You can see this one's $36 and that one was $12. So this one's 3 times as much. The difference, this Zebco 33 has been around forever, and it works, okay? It's not the cheapest thing in the world. They actually had to put money into it to build it. But what do you actually get when you pay more? You're going to get a better design, better gears, better materials, better reel, better drag. See how smooth that is? That's the drag. That's what's important whenever you actually catch a fish and it's pulling against you. See that? See here, the drag clicks. That's one thing that I would say is the difference. So here's a micro if you want a small one. There's bigger ones if you want a bigger one. I would go with the Zebco 33. They're a little bit more, but hey, you get what you pay for, especially whenever you buy a cheap one. I'm gonna put those through at like 3 and 5, but no particular order. As for spinning rods, say you want to step up from the push buttons or whatever. Boom, check this out. This one's $67, but it's actually good. And I'll tell you what makes it good. The rods, most of these fishing rods are fine, but you got to look out for the reels that really are the thing you work with. All right, here's what I'm looking for. Here's the main thing that I'm kind of looking for. Overall build quality. But how do you know that? Just by looking at it? Well, first of all, this is called the spool. This thing the line's on, that's plastic. That's usually not a good sign. Here's another thing. The drag, it doesn't make a noise. That's usually not a good sign. The noise is actually a little keeper that like grabs it and holds it there. With these, without noise, without a drag keeper, they literally just unloosen without asking you. It's kind of wild. But say on this one, look, that spool is metal, and whenever you twist that drag, it clicks. Now, that's just 2 features that are a big upgrade, but with those 2 features, the overall quality of everything else goes up too. So if you're looking for a spinning reel, I'd go with a metal bell and a drag that clicks. Like I was saying though, that's not really like the 2 most important things. That's just 2 indicators of quality, I would say. This thing don't have either one of those, and it's pretty well junk, low-key. I mean, you can catch fish with it, but it's also got 1 ball bearing. This one has 4, and you can usually see it right here. Right in there, you want one that has more than 1 bearing. Anywhere 3 and up's pretty good. Some of them even have 10. So I would say that's a really good rod. This one's a really good rod. It's $40. Only difference, it doesn't have line, but I'm gonna do another video showing you how to put line on one and how to choose line. This one right here, I'd say it's pretty good. It's only got 2 bearings, but it's overall pretty good. And this one actually doesn't click on top. So I'd probably not get that one. This one up here, this one clicks up top, and it's even cheaper and has line on it. So that one's probably a pretty good option. This one right here, this little Shakespeare, it's $20, but let's take a look. That may be the cheapest looking fishing rod I've ever seen. And up top, it does actually click, but I don't know, you can just kind of look at that. It's just so rattly looking. I'd probably stay away from that one. You just want them that look like they're built, feel like they're built tough. Man, if you get a cheap one, it's just going to cause more trouble than it's worth, literally. If you're looking for something bigger like a catfish setup, These up here, this one's like $41 or something. This thing's gonna be hard to get down. We're just gonna check it from here. I believe that thing's metal. It clicks at top. Let's look at the bearings. It's got 2 bearings. That one's probably all right. But if you can get more bearings, it's usually a better sign. Here's a really good one. This may be my #1 pick right here though. And every Walmart's gonna be slightly different. This Walmart actually doesn't have much selection. So this is a Lose. It's a really reputable brand, but I'll say this, brands don't really mean that much anymore. It's a 2-piece rod, so it's actually travelable. Feels good and smooth. It's got 3 bearings, which is enough. That part's metal and it clicks. Honestly, that's probably one I'd be interested in.
What's the price on it?
It is $29. That is actually a great deal. That's a really good deal. This would probably be my #2 pick. My #1 pick would be one that's a little bit more expensive. It'd be this one right here. It's $50 and it doesn't even come with line. But you can just see, you can just feel, it's so much more quality in every way. But there's no line on it, and that's gonna cost a little bit extra to get more line. But here's a quick tip. If you get one in Walmart, they're almost always real in both directions. It's real simple. You just come around the bottom, you flip that thing the other direction, and now it won't turn the wrong way. So that's a quick tip. I know we don't have a ton of options, but the higher price usually means higher quality, and higher overall quality is going to save you a lot of headache. Biggest thing I had to say, I'd stay away from the $12 rods because they're really not that good, and they'll mess you up and they'll make you very aggravated eventually. And if you're going for something like bait casters, most of the bait casters are good. There's not very many low quality bait casters. The Black Max is a good one. This Lose is pretty good. These Ugly Sticks are alright. This Lose is really good. But let's say you do buy a rod and reel and it doesn't have fishing line pre-spooled on it. Click this video right over here. I'm going to be taking a look at some of the fishing line, telling you how to put it on, or click on some of these videos over here for more fishing stuff.